Hey everyone, Gabriel here, and welcome to the Facebook Ads Blueprint 2.0 module of the course. Now, first off, I want to quickly explain why I decided to create a Facebook Ads Blueprint 2.0 module since I already have the first one in the course. And there's two main reasons for that. So the first reason is that I've learned a lot since launching the course, right? I actually run my own e-commerce stores and I'm constantly spending on ads. And so as time goes by, I'm constantly learning new things and striving to improve my strategies. And so even though it's only been a few months, there has been changes to my strategy based on what I've learned. And so that's the number one reason why I wanted to make this module, is to teach those updated strategies and those little things that I'm doing different. Overall, the strategy is still the same, but there's little details that I'm doing different, like how I'm structuring my account and things like that. And that's what I really want to update you guys with this module. And the second reason is that there's also been a lot of changes with Facebook ads, right? CBO has become a lot more important this year. So that's another main difference that you're going to see in this module, is that you can use only CBO with this strategy. And so that's the main differences with this module. It's going to be my updated strategies and my latest strategies based on what I've been doing and learning. And it's also going to be updated for CBO and for the upcoming Facebook ads changes. And so I hope that you're as excited as I am about this module. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so for the first lesson, I want to start off by covering some important Facebook ads theory that most people don't seem to understand. And I think that if you understand this, it'll really revolutionize the way you see Facebook ads and the way you run ads on the platform. The first thing is you need to understand the auction and understand what the auction is and how it works. And so Facebook is an auction platform, right? You're competing with other advertisers for limited space. There's only so much, there's only so many times that ads are shown every day on Facebook, and so you're competing with other advertisers for that attention. And the auction, this is the really key thing here, is that the auction is not only based on money, but it's also based on the user experience. And this is because Facebook doesn't just care about money, right? They've got a ton of money, and they want to keep that money coming for years to come, right? And they know that if they make the users unhappy, the users are going to leave, and then they're going to stop making money. And so their number one priority is making the users happy. It's not making money. And this is factored into the way the Facebook ads auction works. It's not just based on money, but it's based on total value to the user, essentially. And so whoever's able to provide the highest total value is the person who wins the auctions at the lowest costs. And so this is very interesting. I'm going to show you a picture in the next slide that's hopefully going to clarify this. But the key thing here is that the auction is not only based on money. It's not just whoever pays the most wins. And so another thing I wrote here is that there's too many advertisers, right? There's a ton of people. Everyone's advertising on Facebook, and there's a reason for that. Is because it's extremely effective. But the problem is that when there's too many advertisers and not enough ad space, it really jacks up the ad cost, right? And only the people who test relentlessly to find the best audiences and best creatives, right, that are going to get the highest user experience, those are the people that are going to be able to win the auctions consistently without having to bid super crazy high. And so this is really, really important to understand. I'm going to show you this picture here to hopefully make it easier to understand. So this is actually from Facebook themselves, right? I didn't just make this up. And they say we rank ads based on total value for each ad. And they actually give you the exact formula. So, people think that Facebook is some magical platform and we don't really know what's going on, but they actually tell you exactly what they do. And this is what they do. They rank ads based on a total value. This is how the total value is calculated. So this is your bid, right? And your bid is dynamic because most of the time you're going to set lowest cost bidding on Facebook, right? That's what most people do, lowest cost bidding. And so essentially what lowest cost bidding does is it's going to adjust this bid so that your total value is high enough to match all the other competitors, right? So that you can win the auction. And so it's going to bid however high it needs to get the total value needed. But you could also get that total value needed by improving your estimated action rates, right? If you improve your estimated action rates, you wouldn't have to increase your bid as much. Or if you increased your user value, you wouldn't have to increase your bid as much. And you'd get the same total value in the auction, meaning that you're spending less to show your ads. And so that's how the auction works. And that's what people don't understand, is that there's other components other than just the advertiser bid, right? And so if you're running a conversion optimized ad, let's say you're running a purchase optimization ad, this is what Facebook is going to be calculating. The first thing is bid for conversion, right? So how much are you willing to bid? If you're using lowest cost bidding, like I said, this is automatically going to go to whatever it needs to be so that you win the auction. Now, the second thing is going to multiply this bid by your estimated click-through rate. So the click-through rate on your ad, the link click-through rate. How often do people click through on your ad when they're shown it? If there's a high click-through rate, Facebook is going to assume that that's a good user experience, right? If people click a lot on your ad, that means that it's probably a good ad. And so Facebook likes that, and they're going to give you more weight in the auction if you have a high click-through rate to your link. Same thing here, estimated click-to conversion rate. So if you're optimizing for purchases, they're going to measure your purchase conversion rate. So how out of the people who click on your ad, how many of them actually end up purchasing? And they know all of this using the Facebook pixel. And so if you have a high click-through rate and a high conversion rate, that is literally going to do the same effect as paying more in the auction. That's the point that I'm trying to get across here. And so you can increase your total value in the auction by increasing your estimated action rates and increasing your user value. And this is what you should be focused on doing, right? Because if you ignore these two, the only way you can show your ads more is by paying more. And I actually made a graph to simplify things. So this is a little graph I made, and this shows you, this line here would be the total value threshold needed to win the auction, right? So based on the competitors that there's, let's say this is just on a given day, right? And this is just, I made this up, like I said, but this is a good simplification to help you understand. And so on any given day, let's say these are your competitors, right? And the blue is all the ad relevance, estimated action rates, engagement rates, quality factors. So the blue would be these two here, estimated action rates and user value. And the green is the bid, how much you need to pay. And so these are what your competitors are probably going to look like, right? If your competitors have been running ads for a while, they've optimized their ads, they've optimized everything to make sure that they have the highest possible click-through rates, they have high ad relevance, they have high engagement rates, and so they're going to have all of this total value coming from how good their ads are and how relevant they are and how targeted everything is, right? How optimized everything is. And so by doing this, they get a ton of their total value in the auction from that. And so to meet the threshold to win, they only have to pay this much, right? So the most of their total value comes from just having good targeting, good user experience, all of that stuff. And so Facebook doesn't mind. Facebook actually likes showing their ad, right? Because users seem to like it and it's not bothering anyone. And so they don't have to pay a lot to show their ads. On the other hand, this is what your ads are probably going to look like at the start. You don't have good ad relevance, right? There's no way, because you haven't had enough time to test things and to optimize and to really narrow down your targeting. You don't have high estimated action rates, right? Because the only way you're going to have high estimated action rates is by testing a lot. You need to test a lot of different ads to see what's going to get you a high click-through rate. You need to test different landing pages to see what's going to get you a high conversion rate. If you optimize all of these things, you're going to look like the competitors here, and then this green part is all you're going to have to pay. But when you're first starting out, all this stuff isn't optimized at all, right? And so Facebook doesn't really like showing your ads. It'd rather show your competitors' ads that people actually seem to enjoy. And so it's going to charge you more, essentially. Since your total value is coming just from the bid and not from the ad relevance, quality, estimated action rates, engagement rates, and so on, you have to pay a lot to win auctions. And so this slide is going to be talking about the importance of relevance. And assuming that you have a good offer, your main focus with Facebook ads should be improving relevance. And I want to explain what I mean by that. So the first thing is that relevance is the overlap between what you want to say and what your audience is interested in. Let's say this is your brand here. This is all the things that you want to say. You want to talk about your products, your sales, how good your product is, your brand vision. That's what you want to say. This is your audience, what they're interested in. What do they actually care about? And so this would probably be the problems that they have, whatever it may be. And so you want to find the overlap between these two things. This is what relevance means. And this is what Facebook wants you to optimize. And so essentially Facebook wants you to optimize the relevance between your ad and your audience. So what is your audience interested in? What is your ad saying? You need to find the match between that. If you find that match, Facebook is happy. And if you have high relevance, you're going to get high click-through rates, right? Because it's relevant to them, so they're going to click on it. You're probably going to get good conversion rates, good purchase conversion rates, because if it's relevant, relevance is basically everything. If you have good relevance, you're going to get good estimated action rates, you're going to get good quality, good engagement rates. And so what you really need to do is focus on improving your relevance by testing a lot of different things. And so I put here my two-step approach to increasing relevance is, number one, you have to identify top audiences that are interested in your product. And so you do this by testing a lot of different audiences. You test interest, lookalikes, and I'm going to talk about this later on in the module, right? This is just a general overview of the theory behind this. But you want to identify your top audiences. Once you find your best audience, then you want to test a ton of ad creatives until you find what they're interested in, what resonates, right? And you'll be able to see it. It'll be clear. If you find something that's really relevant to your audience, it's going to do well. People are going to engage with it. It's going to get a lot of clicks, and you'll be able to see what resonates. So I hope that makes sense. The last thing I want to talk about in this presentation is why data is king. So obviously Facebook collects all of the data of people who are going on your website, taking actions and stuff using the Facebook pixel. And once you have a lot of pixel data, finding the right audience is really, really easy because Facebook has great tools based on, artificial intelligence and a ton of data. It's really, really smart tools that allow you to find the right audience based on data that you already have. So this includes conversion optimization and lookalike audiences. I'm going to be talking about this later in the course, but I'm sure most of you know what these are. And so once you have data, finding the right audience is really, really easy. And so you don't have to guess who the best audience is, and then you can work on improving relevance, right? And that's what I was saying here. Your main focus should be improving relevance to reduce ad costs, right? And the process to increase relevance is number one, identify your top audiences, which you can do using data, right? Once you have data, you can find the right audiences, and then you can optimize the relevance by testing a lot of new ad creatives with this audience. And so essentially that's why data is king, because it lets you easily find the best audiences to target, and then you don't have to worry about your targeting anymore. Instead, just worry about optimizing your creatives, optimizing the relevance between that audience and what you're trying to say in your ads. And if you do this, you're going to see your click-through rates go up, your conversion rates go up, and essentially you're going to win a lot more auctions with bidding a lot less. And this is going to reduce your ad costs. And so that's why data is king. And I basically summed up what I've been talking about in this video with this little formula right here. Successful e-com Facebook ads. There's 3 main steps that you need in order to have successful e-com Facebook ads. The first is a proven offer. I didn't talk about this much in this video because this is about Facebook ads, but this essentially means picking a proven product, right? I talk about this in the product selection module of the course. You want to make sure that the product is proven to sell and that it's a proven offer so that you're not wasting your time trying to collect data for something that doesn't sell. So that's the first step, proven offer. Now the second step is data collection, right? Just running ads, testing different things without expecting to be profitable right away. You're just collecting data because once you have this data, finding the right audience is going to be easy. And the last step is creative optimization, right? Once you have this data and you know who your top audience is, you have to optimize the creative and optimize your messaging in your ads in order to maximize relevance and estimated action rates. And this is ultimately what ends up reducing your ad costs and lets you scale. And so that's why data is king. And that is it for this presentation on important Facebook ads theory. This was pretty high level theory, intermediate/advanced theory about Facebook ads that I think most people are missing. And so the main takeaway that I want you to get from this is that you can get the same amount of, you can increase your total value in the auction just as much by increasing your estimated action rates and your relevance as by increasing how much you're willing to pay. It's not just about how much you're willing to pay, but it's how good your ads are overall, which is going to determine how well you do in the auction. And so I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one about reading data.